Hi everyone, my name is Maor. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to discuss about the inner child. Now, what is the inner child? There's two big metaphors of the inner child. First, it's you as a young child, okay? Meaning how you were, how you acted, who your friends were you embarrassed, were you afraid of anything, did you feel neglected, did you feel enough love? That is the first connection to the inner child. The second is a general, like what you perceive is to be a child and how you would like to connect with the form of the inner child inside of you. So working with the first type of inner child means I'm going back to my former life, I'm going back to who I was. I want to connect with that person and understand if there's anything that I need to heal. You know, psychologists usually say that the structure of our mind, our character, is a lot influenced by the first 5 to 7 years. Meaning in the 5 to 7 years, think about your mind like a sponge that was completely empty. And then in the first 5 to 7 years, most of the sponge is becoming full and full and full of water. And afterwards, it's just a little bit more connection here, a little bit another connection there. So in the subconscious mind, again, the sponge is full of the conscious and the unconscious. There's a lot of their behavior patterns that you've learned ever since you were very, very young. Sometimes it can be a negative thing, like a trauma, your parents used to argue next to you, maybe you felt neglected or had some fears that come up. Maybe you even, had a drowning experience and that made a trauma that you don't understand as an adult when you're afraid to go into water or afraid to swim next to water. Maybe you were bitten by a spider and then you forgot about it completely, or your body has completely resisted that memory. And therefore, when you're an adult, you're kind of afraid of little bugs or spiders and stuff like that. So when you connect with the first type of inner child, you're going back to your memories. You can make a small exercise of just remembering as far back as you can to your first memory. Sometimes it's really helpful to use albums, ever since like albums or baby albums of ourselves, and then try to see what do they feel. How do they feel? Sometimes just try to come as the adult of you and imagine younger you. Give yourself a hug, introduce yourself as who you are. Tell yourself that, oh, it's me, you, but I'm coming from the future. Now the child doesn't necessarily understand that, but he will feel comforted. He will feel that you really, really love him because you do love yourself. And then just ask him, have a conversation with him. How do you feel at the age of 5? How do you feel at the age of 3? Do you feel good with the family around you? Do you feel neglected? Do you feel that you're getting enough love? Are you playing enough with your toys? Do you have enough time for yourself? Ask him all these series of questions, and one of the things he's going to tell you is, from 1 to 10, how much he really does feel. And then just tell him that you love him, tell him that you're here to support him, tell him that he never has to feel that he's alone again. And feel how the sensation feels as if you have traveled to the past and healed a part of yourself, and that emanates into your present self. Because that is really the way that it works. When you heal something from your past, you will feel a change inside of yourself. So you can always do this inner child, the first inner child kind of dance with yourself in order for you to feel more connected with him. The second type of inner child is the inner child that you have. They say that a person has an old master inside of himself. He has the feminine woman, he has the masculine man, and he has the child. So the child, if you're a woman, it can be a little girl. If you're a man, it can be a little boy. And the child, that's the amazing part of it, the child is innocent. The child likes to laugh. The child lives in the moment, like a cat, like a dog, like animals, like in nature. The child believes what people tell him. The child wasn't burned by everything that life has taught him. The child hasn't learned how to lie. He doesn't understand what manipulation means. He believes in the heart of human beings. He believes that everything works just perfectly. And when you connect with that innocence, that's a peacock talking behind me. I'm in a farm. So when you connect with that second type of inner child, you suddenly understand how powerful being a child can be. Because when they are playing a cowboy, they're a cowboy. And there's no convincing them of anything else. When they're an astronaut, they're an astronaut. When she's playing with her Barbies, she's just in that mode. She's just in her tea party right now. So when you connect with your inner child, suddenly your heart melts. As adults, we kind of been steered away from being present. We've learned that we have obligations in our life. We've learned that not everything is just playful and fun. We've learned that to step away from the rain instead of going and dancing in the rain and playing with ourselves in the puddles and getting dirty. We forgot all those things. So that's how important it is to connect with a second type of inner child. And the connection itself is really, really easy. Every time somebody asks you something and you want to say no, ask yourself, what will the child say? Will the child want to go out a little bit more, meet some friends a little bit more? Will the child want to go outside and play in the rain? Will the child want to spend more time in nature, in the sun? And yes, all those things are yes. And sometimes when we have children, I'm a fresh father myself, then we leave our inner child through their existence. So think about your inner child. Think about that first inner child that you used to be, and think about the inner child that is inside you right now, that for you is a metaphor of a deeper connection to being in the present moment, to being naive again. Be naive, okay? Allow people to say certain things, allow people to trick you, and consistently and persist with being naive. Why? Because eventually the universe sees the inner child inside of you, sees the purity, sees that the words that the child is saying are always true. They're always true. Even if for you it means to be a little bit with less tact. Just be honest. Be honest without being judgy. Because the child just tells you as he sees it. He tells you and he doesn't think about the consequences of what he says. And you as an adult, you receive it and say, wow, he's so wise. He just says it as it is. And that's what we should strive for. To be honest, non-judgmental. Just say it as it is. And in the world of manifestation, you will understand that the more honest you are, the more truth the words that come out of your mouth, the more they resonate with reality. And the easier your manifestations will become. And then you choose your words much wisely, much more wisely. You choose your words because you understand that if you're complaining a lot, if you're judging a lot, if you are ridiculing other people, all those words are negative, and then they will create negativity around you. So my name is Maor, thank you for being with me, and don't forget, connect with your inner child. If you enjoy this video, please share it or simply like it.